Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like I need to say welcome back to me. Even though I haven't missed many videos, I actually have not filmed in a couple weeks. And part of the reason is what you are hearing in my voice and my nasal passages. Yes, I finally got taken down by a bad cold, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's just jump right on in here. I have so many new products. I've got a bunch of new PR products. I have several things that I've purchased myself. I have some things like the Natasha Denona Bloom palette that I have had sitting on my desk for a couple weeks that I bought right before my eyeshadow palette came out. So we're going to dig into all of that. If you're new here, welcome. We're just going to sit down, talk makeup, talk a little bit about life, get some updates, and we're just going to enjoy our day together. I love bringing my friends along to try new things, to talk about makeup. So already on my face right now, I started off with the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base as my eyeshadow primer today. This was recently restocked on Sephora's website, so I wanted to mention it here because the Sephora sale is coming. I'll talk about some recommendations along the way. Let me know if you want a specific Sephora recommendations video or you want to see an unboxing or both. Let me know. Also on my lips, because I have been sick, my lips, my whole face, my body just seem to be dry and uncared for. So I've got the Buzzi Beauty. This is her lip treatment. And this is so nourishing. I've had it on my lips now for at least 20 minutes. And you can still see it on there. It is so revitalizing to the lips, like no other lip oil out there. And just a side note, if you're a prayer, poor Allie Glines, just keep her and her family in your prayers. They have gone through a tremendous loss in their family recently. So, but now let's talk about what we're going to do with the rest of the face. So as I mentioned, dun, da, 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 we have this new palette from Natasha Denona, the Bloom palette. And when this came out, it was kind of a shock to me. It came I purchased it right before my palette came out. And when I got it, I thought, oh yes, okay, this is what I wanted her warm palette to be like. If you remember my review last summer, this is the warm palette. And I just found this to be repetitive. I wanted some burgundy shades. I wanted something different other than basic kind of like browns. And she did it with this palette. So you can see side by side the big difference. So this is definitely more yellowy, peachy colors, yellow browns, gold, kind of coppery golds. And this palette has more pinky coral peaches, and we've got some burgundies and plums. So I've only used this a couple times. I'm excited to dig into it with you today. But as you saw in that palette, there is no matte cream shade. So we're going to pull out my True Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is my palette I just recently did with Doll 10. Thank you to all of you for your love, your support, for buying this palette. So many of you have said you're enjoying it. I just love hearing that. So this has been a palette that I have been reaching for over and over, whether I'm on camera or not, because it's just so quick and easy. But it definitely has my matte cream shade. And if you can see, I've already hit pan. This is my second palette I've had. I've already hit pan on it. So we're going to go in with that shade. I do have some new brushes today I'm going to be using, but for this shade, we're just going to go to my standby, my Sigma E50. Just going to put a little bit of that on the brow bone, and this is the shade called Good. And if you will just forgive my voice, I hope it holds out. I haven't lost it, but it just has that sound like, yeah, like there's something wrong with my throat and my nasal passages. All right, now for these new brushes, I am so thrilled for another fellow Instagrammer, a pixie chick who has now started her own makeup line. This is Buzzi Beauty, and I have talked about her channel before or her account on Instagram. It's Hair Makes Up B. She has a pixie cut. She's a hairstylist, and I've recommended her videos for those of you wanting extra pixie inspiration. Well, she just came out with a brush line. Specifically, she has formulated or kind of designed these for use on mature skin, skin that's over 40. So we're going to give these a try. She sent these to me. Thank you, Melissa. So sweet of you. I've not even tried them, but let me just tell you, these are so soft, and I'm interested to see how they blend and how they work with products. So she sent me two of, I'll try to read these numbers. My eyes have not been great. This is the 911. It's a fluffy brush, and this one I'm going to use for crease color. So let's dig into this palette. So we do have, I think it's a pretty even mix of shimmers and mattes. Some of the shimmers, like this one, are just kind of like toppery shades. But overall, I have really enjoyed this palette. So I'm going to go in. Let's do a mix of these two peachy shades today. And I've got kind of a peachy plummy look in mind for you. I have a new burgundy mascara that I am just so excited to use. I've used it only once and I loved it. So we're gonna have some fun with that. All right. So those two shades, and now let's go in. I want to go in with this shade right here. I just love this shade. This has been, it's more of a corally pink color, and then mixed with those peach shades, it really, it enhances, I think, the pink side, but we're still definitely peach. You know, I've done some pink looks with my palette, so I want to try to give you a little something different today. But you know, a girl loves what she loves, right? I did do a very fun look right before I got sick. I did a very fun look with the Little Mermaid palette from Sigma, and I will do that. It is using this beautiful like trio chrome bluish green, but I just wasn't quite feeling up to that today. So it's been a journey here, let me tell you. All right, let's see here. Let's get this on, and then I might go in with, I've forgotten, there is a slightly deeper peach color right here. I'm loving this brush, by the way. Let's go in with this one, and let's just see if that intensifies it a little. Yeah, do you see how I mean, Natasha Denona shadows are good and generally easy to blend, but I am telling you, this brush is like doing the work for me, and I don't feel like it's flinging the shadow everywhere, like all over my face. It's like laying it down and blending. Wow, Melissa, good job on this brush. I really like this brush. This might be my new favorite blending brush. That's early, but that's my first take on it. Okay, now for the outer corner, let's go in with this brush. This is the 912. It's an angled, slightly fluffy brush. And we're gonna go into this shade right here. This is one of my favorites. These two shades right here, I just love. And of course, I just got a tickle in my throat. If I start having a coughing attack, I'll mute the video. If you're new to these kinds of videos, we just leave everything in except for Gracie barking and maybe a coughing attack. So my cold has been, let's see, about 6.5 days in the making. I am on hopefully the other side of it now, but both my husband and I came down with a bad cold. He got it first, and I went about 4 days without symptoms. I thought I was fine. He missed church last Sunday. I went, and then, well, it was late Sunday night, Monday morning, I started going, uh-oh, I don't feel so well. And yeah, we canceled everything this week. So I have been staying home, walking Gracie in the afternoon when the sun's out, and not many people actually, I think up until yesterday, we didn't even see anybody. So trying to avoid people as much as possible because I don't want anybody else to get sick. Wow, this brush worked really well. Did you see it just laid down that shadow? And that's a pretty intense shadow. So that laid it down and blended it kind of all in one. All right. And wow. Oh, I just love this color combination. This is to me like a summer sunset. You know, we've got those kind of like pinks and purples with the peach, not so much brown. I think of like the fall sunset eye is more browns, and this is, oh, I just love this. Okay. Might add a little more intensity. I'm just gonna bring my finger right in that corner. Yeah. And then we will go on the lid. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that brush and just blend. Really, really enjoying this palette, these brushes. Okay, now for the lid, let's see here. I feel like these shadows definitely need a base, and let's just stick with something we know. I don't want to keep you here for 5 hours, but I have missed talking makeup and just talking life with you all. As I said, I had pre-filmed several videos, so that's why you haven't really missed me here. But I have not sat down in front of the camera. Actually, I think my hairstyling, my salon visit video was the last time I was actually sitting in front of the camera, which was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there's a little bit of delay. You can see my hair is already grown out. Some of you were a little afraid that it was too short. It grows so fast. All right, now on the lid, what did I do the other day that I just really enjoyed? Let's try this shade right here. This is definitely more of a peachy gold. Now, what I just put on my lid, see, I'm a little rusty. That was the L'Oreal Le Shadow Stick in Twinkling Rose or Twinkle Rose. And now I'm just gonna put that on. Do you see? Oh, it's so pretty. So definitely this shade has a little more yellow tones to it, but it's not super yellowy. All right, then we're gonna go in with, was it this shade? Yeah, let's do a little bit of this shade. This is a shimmer shade. And I'm going to use this just to kind of marry those together. And then let's go in with this topper shade. Okay, so this is how, if you're kind of not familiar with how to use topper shades, they can just change the tone or add sparkle to what you've already got going on. So you can see this is a little more yellowy. I'm gonna add this, just kind of pressed over the top. And it just, do you see this kind of compared to this, a little cooler, and this kind of has a fun shift to it. So I would say overall, if these are your kind of colors, you'll really enjoy this palette. If there's only a few colors in here that you enjoy, then it's, you know, not worth the full price tag that it is. So, I mean, that's what I feel like with Natasha Denona's kind of recent releases over the last year or two, where she's doing kind of these color focused palettes. It's kind of an all or nothing type of thing. So, you know, when I was doing my eyeshadow palette, I thought, okay, I want something that's versatile, that it's not going to be like, okay, you either love or you hate it, you know? But with these palettes from Natasha Denona, I feel like it is kind of that, like, you either wear these colors or you don't. So if you don't, that's okay. Just alter these shades to maybe more pink tones or whatever to suit your skin tone. Oh, just love it. But do you see how these colors just bring out the green in my eyes? That's why I love that kind of reddish plum color. All right, let's add a little liner and then we'll go from there. Buzzi Beauty sent me, they have a new waterproof tubing mascara. I'm not going to use that today because I have another one, but they also came out with new eyeliners. And I was debating on which color to choose. And so I ended up going with, oh boy, Where are my glasses when I need them? They're somewhere on my desk here. This is it's a burgundy brown shade, which is one of my favorite shades of brown. And I did put it on my hand before I started makeup to see if it dried down, and it's staying put very well. Okay, that's a good sign. Tiny, it's a precision liner, automatic sharpen. So you just twist from the bottom. And this one, I was debating between this. They do have a more kind of plum shade. I forget what that one was called. I was really close to choosing that one, but I thought, you know what? Let's try this and see if this is enough of a burgundy brown. And I think it is. This is a little more neutral. The burgundy, the plum color definitely had obviously more purple tones in it, but this is going on pretty nicely. It is so fine that you can get like right into your lash line, which is nice. And I don't know if I can, let's see. Let's go in with another brush from Buzzi, and this is the number 9, what is this? Oh, I can't read it. 914, I think. It's the angled brush. It's nice and soft. Let's go in with this shade right here. And I'm just gonna go right over the top of that line. Oh, I should have brought some water in. I don't think I've talked this much in a whole week. My throat is feeling a little tickly. That's okay. All right. All right, I think I like that. Ooh, almost dropped it on my white shirt. Oh dear. So other than having this week of kind of being out for the count, the week before was such a fun week with the launch of my palette and just so many amazing compliments from you all. So again, huge thank you. And again, a huge thank you to Dalton. They were so great in the whole process. And if you watched my reveal video, you'll know this palette, it was almost a whole year in the making. And something that I hadn't shared in that video was I had found out it was maybe a few weeks before my mom passed, was when I had started conversations with Dalton about the eyeshadow palette, and she was so excited for me, and of course my dad was too, but you know, dads are like, oh well, that's a great accomplishment, but you know, it's not like he wanted me to send it to him to try out. So but the funniest thing is my mom, she said, well, I would say, because I was asking her, you know, what colors that she thought I should include, and she's like, well, how about a blue eyeshadow? And she always wanted me, I'm going to take a little more of that shadow just below my lash line. And she was always wanting me to use blue eyeshadow or something. But what's funny is I don't ever recall her wearing blue eyeshadow. So when I do my Little Mermaid look, that will be a dedicated to my mom look. But I actually really liked it. It's not a straight up harsh blue. So I'm like, well, maybe she would have liked this kind of color combo. All right, we're going to stop there. Actually, let's go in with a little, I'm going to go in with maybe a little bit of this shade and this one. I forgot I haven't used that shade at all. And one way you can get your shadow down here to stay if you struggle is you can actually put a little bit of eyeshadow primer under your lower lash line, or an eyeliner, which is typically what I do. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of this. You can go in first with eyeliner and then top it with your shadow, or vice versa like I'm doing right now. I'm just going to put a little bit of this into the roots of the lashes, just here in the outer corner. Okay, and I did forget I was going to use some of the Lumified eye drops today so my eyes didn't look sick, but they don't look too bad. All right, let's do some cleanup work here. I've got my good old almond oil here and a Q-tip. Some of you have asked who don't know, why do I do this? I do this to not only clean up the eyeshadow, but to add just a little extra moisture on the under eye. It will not interfere with your concealer as long as you don't leave a pool of oil like I've got right here. You definitely don't want to use too much, but almond oil actually sinks into the skin very quickly, but has long-lasting hydration benefits. And ironically, there are a lot of setting powders, I shouldn't say a lot, some, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder, for example, that have almond oil in them. I believe the new What's Up Beauty powder that I talked about also has almond oil in it. So it's a hydrating ingredient. All right, we're gonna tap that in. Okay, so on my face, I might look a little tan. It's not because I've been vacationing. I am testing out sunless tanners. The annual project has begun. I do have a little face sunless tanner on, but I also started off with the Dermatology. This is the Matte Universal Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46. I'm trying out several new SPFs as well that I've purchased myself, and one or two that have been sent to me. So that's already on my skin. And then for my under eyes, I have been testing out 2 sunscreen corrector products. And years ago, I tried the one from Color Science, and I didn't remember loving it. I think I might have gotten the wrong shade, I don't know. But I'm actually enjoying that one, and this one by Dermatology also. And this one is Luminous Eye Concealer SPF 41. And I'll have to put the shade down below, along with all the products and links to everything like I usually do. But I tell you what, I mean, because I've been sick, I've only done makeup a couple times, and it's been overall, I think there was only one day I did a full-on makeup look because I was hoping to make myself feel better. But the rest of the time, it's been like very minimal, and I'll just put some of this on with some sunscreen to go walk Gracie, and I have really been impressed. Gracie, your daddy's home. She gets so excited when she hears somebody outside, and then especially when she knows it's her daddy. Okay, so do you see what that did? Like, that just made me instantly feel better. All right, for foundation, I have really been enjoying this new release from Dalton. It is their Peptide Bounce Balm Foundation. And years ago, if you remember the IT Cosmetics cream foundation that came in a compact like this reminds me of that so much. This does not have any added SPF like the IT Cosmetic one did, but I have really enjoyed this. And I've been using this again because I've been wanting something like really fast and quick and easy. This has been my go-to. Now this is light medium, and I have medium. I kind of, because I've got a little sunless tanner on, I feel like I'm kind of in between. So I'll show you how I've been mixing when I need to do that. Boy, do I want to use, I kind of feel like I want to reserve. So Buzzi Beauty has this 902 brush, and I think I want to save this for my liquid foundation. So I'm going to use this one from Dalton that was released with the foundation. And this is the Precision Coverage and Contour Brush. So I'm just going to dip into the medium and put this on the top of my cheeks. And that's actually not a bad match. And if I go into the light and go below it, yeah, you can see the difference. So it's almost like I'm going to contour a little bit with that. But let's go back to the medium. I think the medium is going to be a good match for me. But okay, so this foundation and this brush are just so nice and quick and easy. So many good ingredients in this foundation, and it is hydrating, but my slightly oily combination skin can handle it so far. We're not in the full heat of the summer, although we have been having Uh, well, we've actually hit 90 about a week and a half ago, and next week we're supposed to hit 90. I'm not quite ready for that. I'm going to mix those two for the center of the forehead and then go around. So, I mean, I'm just tapping my brush. You don't need to swirl. You don't need a ton of product on your brush. And in fact, I might have just a little bit too much. We'll just work it in, but it's just so beautiful. And if you're like me, I love the convenience of a stick foundation, but there's very few that I found that actually just look good on textured skin. And this, though, is kind of that ease of application, like a stick, but I think it's very flattering. Now, I do have to fully set this because it is quite hydrating, but we're gonna leave that. Okay, I think I need just a little extra concealer under my eyes, just because little lacking in sleep, and yeah, it's been one of those weeks. So I'm just gonna add a little reishi mushroom concealer in medium. Let's just blend this in a little extra coverage, never hurt. And for this, let's use this Buzzi Beauty brush. This is the 904, I believe. Oh goodness, yes. I could bring out my glasses, but you know, that would just take extra minutes and tack it on to this video. Okay, so let's just add a little extra coverage there. Yeah, still got some dark hollows, but I might actually, here, let's go in with, this is my trick when I really need a little extra. Oh, let's go with the light medium. I don't want to go too light. I'm just going to go right here. And we're going to bring the focus right here. This part of, yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. That's a nice brush. It's very light, so this is not going to pack on concealer. Just gonna more like blend. Really nice, I like that. Okay, let's move on to some color on the face. And Dibs sent me a couple of products, and I had actually purchased one of these myself, and then I picked out a different shade. So they have a matte. This is a dual blush and bronzer stick. And this one, as you can guess, has a little bit of glow in the blush. It's not in the bronzer. And then this one is matte blush and bronzer. So I have been, let's see, I really liked, yeah. So this is a slightly darker contour shade, which I have enjoyed. Then the first one that I purchased, I felt like is really good for lighter, definitely lighter skin days, my wintertime shade. But now that I'm starting to do more sunless tanning testing, and ooh, these smell so good, like vanilla. And some people don't like fragrance in cosmetics. I don't like fragrance when it's perfumey. You give me a good vanilla or caramel or sweet scent, I'm all about it. All right, let's go to Buzzi's brushes here. What shall we use? Let's use this one. We're going to use the 905. I think this is gorgeous. Be great for, try this for contour, and we're going to use the cream blush also, and just see how this works. So these bristles seem to have a little more give than the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy her angled face brush, if you're familiar with that one. That one's a little more dense. This one has a little more give, which I think is nice when you're working with more pigmented blushes and bronzers. And it's very nice on the skin. Feels very nice. Okay. Now, for our blush, as I was mentioning with the eyeshadow palette, this is where have to be real careful. If you go in with a super cool pink like this, you can see that it just is going to jump out and not look right at all with the eye look. So because we've got definitely more corally, peachy tones on the eyes, something like this, let me wipe it off, is going to blend a little better. So we're going to start with this. We may add a little bit of the pink in, depending on how kind of peach this is, but do you see, when I start bringing this in, it kind of helps the whole look come together. Now, if you don't do anything colorful on the cheeks or the lips, it's definitely going to put all of the focus just on the eyes, which is not bad, but it will make it more dramatic. If you kind of bring those colors through the rest of your makeup, I feel like it kind of almost makes the whole look seem toned down just a little. I don't know. That's what I tell myself. Anyway, okay. I really have enjoyed these Dibs products. I don't feel like they disturb. Now, for whatever reason, I never brush on the blush or swipe on the blush, I should say. I brush it on like this. But the contour, I feel like, can go directly onto your face, or you can go from the brush if you wish. But all right, so that added glow because there is glow, but there's no like shimmer particles or anything in it. I really like that. Now, just for fun, let's add a little tiny bit of, yeah, sure. Let's just add a little bit of this. Sure. Why not, right? Okay. I'm going to add it just right here. So what I do love about this formula being all matte is it definitely will not enhance texture. But we've got a lot of glow going on because I have not powdered. One more step before we powder. Dibs also came out with this, they call it Status Stick. It's face and body luminizer. Look how big this is. So part of my sunless tanning journey testing, I'm also testing out several like instant bronzing, instant glowing products. And this, I think is really pretty. Like it's real pigmented. I'm just gonna tap a little on the tops of the cheeks. Now it's gonna be hard to see a difference since that blush has some glow, but here we go. Let's powder down the face, and then if we need to, we can go back and add more of that. Okay, for powder, I do love this powder. With this foundation though, I feel like I need a little more hardcore setting through the center of the face. So I'm gonna go to my tried and true Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Powder, which it has been discontinued. I could not believe it. All of a sudden, some of you were saying, I can't find it. Where is it? And I thought, what? And sure enough, I've only been able to find a few more on eBay. So I'm on the hunt to find a replacement for this. I have no idea why they have decided to discontinue it. It's a talc-free, clean setting powder. I have loved this for a couple of years. And so I don't know what's going on, but let me know if you have a favorite. And now I do love the Makeup Forever Micro HD setting powder, but that's more of that's a finishing powder. I do love that. I love this one, but for my super oily skin in the summer and kind of in the T-zone, I just need a little something stronger. So I do have a whole drawer full of powders, but maybe I've missed one out there. Okay, I just ended up powdering the whole face. Why not, right? All right, under the eyes, I have been experimenting. Of course, I love this under the eyes. Jouer actually sent me their setting powder. This is a gorgeous powder. I'm still experimenting. I've only tried that once, but let's go drugstore. I don't know if any of you have seen the new Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus. This is their soft pink powder. Now I have to be careful with these pink powders, and this one definitely has a little extra pink tones to it, but we're gonna give it a try today. So I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any extra creases. And now let's go in. I'm gonna use just a little powder puff. And I feel this is a different feel and formulation than their regular Photo Focus powder. So if you've tried that one, this one's definitely lighter. And again, not something I can use all over my face because it makes me look a little pink. But do you see? I don't know. I'm working on it. Just still trying to see how well it holds up throughout the day. I think it's really pretty and brightening right now. Okay. Next, we need some brows, and I don't believe I have anything new. I do have a new magnifying mirror that I'm going to test out here. So let's see, where did I put my brow? So I've been trying to figure out the right brow color for me right now. I've gone back to my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow in blonde. I did buy this in a darker color. I think it was like the neutral brown. Oh, sorry. Okay, so much for Uncut. UPS came, Gracie just went berserk, so had to calm her down. All right, let's go back. I do have this new mirror that is supposed to be suction cupped to my mirror in front of me, but it was not staying, so bummer. Let's just see if we can do it freehand, or maybe we can try again. We'll try one more time. We'll try again. Maybe I'll hang on to it, right? Because it's just so much easier to look straight on and be able to do my brows. Okay. So yes, Gracie she's been a trooper. She's been letting her mom kind of do her walks in the afternoon, but in the morning, she's kind of a little, she's got her energy and she's like, Mom, why aren't we getting outside? So she's had a little extra pent up energy by the time we get her out in the afternoon. So poor thing. We'll get back in the schedule of things soon. But I think I was talking about this my brow shade, brow color. So I feel like whenever I go too dark with my brow pencil, I feel like my brows can overtake the look very quickly and it just becomes a real harsh look. So I've been playing around with this mixed with the new Maybelline Fluff Brow product. So we'll use that today and I'll show you that. But I thought there's no point in me buying a bunch of darker brow products if by chance I might be, adding a little more blonde soon, which is the plan. So, all right, let's just work on this brow. Now, as far as other PR that has come in, I did get in just a really cute package from the Girl Scouts collaboration with Hard Candy. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. And one of the products in there, Hard Candy has a body oil. It's coconut caramel. Oh my goodness, here, I have it right here. It smells so good. Oh my goodness. And it's a huge bottle. So I'm working through some of those products. So we'll be filling you in on some of those. They also have a bunch of new lip products, lip blurs, and I'm just curious from you all. I know what kind of formula of lip products that I prefer, and sometimes I don't really care if the trends go one way or the other. I just say, this is what I find comfortable, this is what I'm wearing. But you let me know, now that the trends, we're starting to see more matte products come back again for the lips. How do you all feel about that? I still feel like I can try a matte lip, and 30 minutes later, I'm pulling out a gloss. I'm putting on something shiny or just something a little more hydrating. I don't mind if, the matte product is at least slightly hydrating. I don't mind the look of a matte lip if it doesn't make my lips look shriveled and dry. But I don't know. I think just always been partial to glossy lips, and that's just kind of where I see myself trending. Oh, Shirley's own trend here. All right, this is the new-ish product from Maybelline, Super Fluff. And I think I have neutral brown. I think that's the shade I have. Again, I'll list it down below. But I do really love the wand. And this is a nice in-between formula. It's not too wet. It's also not particularly dry or fibrous. I mean, it's kind of in between. It does, I think, add some nice texture. I've tried to, just use a product like this and not fill in at all. I end up using like 5 products to try and do that. And yeah, it just usually doesn't work for me. So, but I am excited. I just ordered a fun eyebrow product. I won't spoil it now, but it was from Amazon. I saw somebody do an Instagram reel and I'm like, okay, I gotta try those out. So look for an upcoming video on something having to do with eyebrows. I was recently intrigued also by nano brows, which I don't know, maybe some of you can clue me in on the difference between nano and micro brows. I've seen those be like separately listed on websites, and I'm not quite clear of what's the difference. So yeah, I was watching some artisans do nano brows, and wow, are they amazing. And how nice it would be to have such natural looking brows. But the things that I am reading say that they only last 8 to 12 months. At least the the artist that I found close to me. And I feel like that's what I've heard as being more accurate. Sometimes salons will say, oh no, it should last, 2 to 3 years. But I've heard it's more around a year. And if that's the case, I don't know. I don't know that I want to spend that kind of money, go through that whole process, because it is a process. But I don't know. I know I've heard from some of you who have really enjoyed your nano brows. I curl my lashes here. Or your micro brows. So let me know. I mean, it would be nice. Think of all the time that brows take me. If I could skip that, wow, that'd be nice. I could fly out the door in no time. Okay, for mascara. This is the new mascara. It's new to me. I know this has been out a while. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara, and this is the shade Burgundy. I believe that's the shade, yes. And I'm going to pair it with the Jane Iredale. This is the Lash Extender and Conditioner Pure Lash Primer. And I have really enjoyed this. I was having some kind of eye issues, and I was trying to determine if it was this primer or if it was something else I was using. I think it was something else. So we're going to go back to this and just see. But this has lash growth properties, and Jane Iredale, I believe, is a clean makeup brand as well. So good ingredients in their formulations. But I really like the brush on this. It seems to add a good amount of product, but not too much. So we'll just coat the lashes. Now, L'Oreal Voluminous, I for whatever reason, maybe I need to try the original formula of mascara again, but I never was wowed by that mascara. And I know it is an OG in the mascara world. Makeup artists still swear by it. But I don't know. It was just never a favorite of mine. And I always felt like I got smudging. So my secret to creating no smudges is using a mascara primer. So I will actually go back and add that on the lower lashes as well. But let's go in with the mascara first on the upper lashes before that dries. Do you see the beautiful shade? And again, kind of going back to my eye color and these eyeshadows, I feel like this is the perfect color of colored mascara for me personally. It does have more red to it than the brown mascara from Lash Paradise, which I do also love. This one just has, I say red. Red sounds really scary. Let's say plum. So I feel like this is more of that beautiful burgundy plum. And do you see what it does? My eye color, I don't know, it's really pretty. Mandy, the makeup artist, I think is her channel. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Mandy USA, I don't know. This is her favorite mascara now. She raved about it, and I had purchased it in January just without even thinking, and January was my no buy month. So I just put it in my drawer and said I can't use it until February. And then by then I already had several open mascaras, so I'm just now getting around to trying it, but I really like it so far. So if you have wanted to dip your toes into colored mascara, I have not tried, I think L'Oreal Voluminous also has green and blue. I'm not sure about those, but this one definitely I could recommend. And just something fun and different and a little lighter, I think, as we're going into spring and summer and people want to kind of lighten up their look, not have things look so dark and dramatic. Maybe this is the way to go. Lighten up your mascara, right? I am gonna have to go back and add a few more coats. So let's go to the lower lash line and we'll come back. And maybe it will be a little more tacky. So, but yes, things coming up. I did mention my hair, so that will be in a couple weeks. Have a salon visit and some color changes. I am ready. Our weather being warm. I mean, even what I'm wearing today, it's a long sleeve, but kind of get me in the vibe of ready for spring. My best friend's coming for a visit. Also, my dear friend Laura's coming for a visit this spring. So I've got friends coming. Lots of just fun new things. I feel like I'm ready to get out into my yard. Our flowers are blooming. If you saw my Instagram post on Happy Spring Day, our nectarine tree is just starting to bloom. That is my favorite thing about the spring in our backyard. Our roses are just starting to get their new growth. We haven't had any new roses yet, but they're going to be blooming soon as well. But when that nectarine tree is in full bloom, oh, I love it. Now, the funny story is we have not yet, in the 4 years we've lived here, ever gotten to taste a piece of fruit from that tree, because the fruit, before it even gets, I mean, I would say not even half grown, half matured, is completely gone. There is some kind of varmint, and it's not birds, because whatever it is eats the entire fruit and leaves me the pit on the ground. Isn't that nice? I'm like, it's almost like that, ha ha ha, we just ate your fruit, clean up our mess. So I've not really come up with a good plan since it's not birds. We're just kind of at a loss. I think it's something climbing up. We have, you know, could be raccoons, it could be rats, it could be squirrels, but some of the fruit is on like the very tip of the end of the branch, kind of high up. So I don't know. I don't know how they're getting it, but they're eating the entire fruit. So yeah, if you all have any tips of what we can do to scare away, keep away the varmint. Oh, and you know, I'm just making a mess with this mascara. I think I recently lost a couple of lashes out here, right here. I feel like I got a bald spot. Could have been with all of my sleep and tossing and turning in the nighttime, not feeling well, something. All right. Well, we're gonna finish this up. We've got lips to do, and for lips, again, I think because my lips have been kind of on the drier side anyway, I've just been gravitating towards glosses and very hydrating lip products. So, all right, we're gonna let that just look crazy for a moment. I am gonna go ahead and take this out. I will have to pause and do my hair, but let's clean off the lip. And I'm gonna do a little MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and I'll show you what I've got. We're gonna try to speed through the rest of this. Oh my goodness, these videos, they get so long. I am sorry, but I know some of you don't mind at all, so thank you. And if you do, just fast forward, but please keep watching. I really appreciate you keep watching. I think all of us are kind of going through this, like, we don't know what people want to see. So let me know if there's something missing that I'm not doing that you wish I would do more of, let me know. Okay, for my lip combination, we are gonna start off with the new Merit lip liner. This is their signature lip. And what shade did I choose? Yeah, another one that I'm gonna have to put down below. But beautiful packaging, they do a great job. Automatic roll up, and this shade is so pretty. Very nice, neutral. It's kind of a, I don't know, a moussey pink maybe, kind of a chocolatey, I mean, it's more taupe, but I don't know, a cool taupe color. So I love shades like this, especially going into spring and summer, so that I can mix it with maybe a little slightly brighter color. I think for lips, I am feeling like I want to do maybe one of these Revlon lip shines. And they sent me a couple colors, and then I purchased a couple colors. Some of you recommended, this is 006 Girly Swirly. It's so pretty. Wait, let me show you this. So these look really scary, but they're sheer. So this is Girly Swirly. And then I did purchase this one. I was hoping that it would actually have more color to it, but it's almost clear. This is the 002. So I'm not going to use that one. And what was this? This is 003. This is Honey Shine. See, I can read some of these labels still. That was something else that got canceled, my eye doctor appointment this week. So you can see that one has a lot more peachy tones. This has a little more pink. We might be in between those two. So let's start off with our lip liner first. And I've really enjoyed this lip liner. I didn't think it was going to be very long wearing, but it has been. So, and it is smooth. Oh my goodness. Now I'm just going to kind of slap this on. That sounds really, really fun, doesn't it? Okay. It just glides on. Okay, so do you see how cool toned this is? If you struggle finding a neutral color that is a neutral brown, really. Yeah, I'm not seeing any pink in this. I feel like the description said something about pink, but maybe not. Okay. So that is quite cool. So in looking at this with my eyes, you can see what I was talking about earlier. It can really make the whole look seem a little strange. You're like, what are we doing here, Shirley? But hang with me here. Let's go in with, let's try 003 first. And again, this is the Revlon. They just repackaged their previous formulation. I'm not sure if they added new colors or not. Okay, that's nice, but let's add a little bit of Girly Swirly. Oh yeah, that's pretty. right, let me do my hair. Be right back. Okay, time for finishing touches. I really want just a little more mascara. I did clean up my mascara blobs after doing my hair, so I did do that off camera, but let's just add a little more volume here to the ends. And I do, because this is only the second time I've used this mascara, I do have a feeling it will improve when it's slightly dried out. I prefer a little drier formula, which might be why I didn't really get along with the original voluminous formula, because I do feel like it's a little wet and therefore it just takes more work to build volume. And my lashes really need volume. So let's just add a little extra there. And I'm not like fully combing it through. I'm really just kind of placing that brush on the ends. That's one way to prevent extra flakes from your mascara. You know, if you apply your mascara after it's dry. Okay, we need inner corner highlight. I can't remember. Let's try this one and maybe a little this. We'll try a little bit of this on the inner corner. Well, that's pretty. It definitely is peach. Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite colors in the palette for the lid. Didn't really use it today, but I think that brightens up the inner corner enough. Could always go in. That's the other shade that I wanted to make sure I included in my palette, was my favorite inner corner highlight shade, because that's another shade that is quite often missing for me personally from a palette. So, all right, I think that works. Now, the other thing that I want to tweak is the color of my eyebrows. So as I was talking, my eyebrows actually blend fine with my hair, but with my eye look, do you see there's just something, they're just a little too yellow. Well, this could be a mistake, but we're gonna add a little bit of the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and I believe this is the neutral brown shade. I'm just gonna add a touch of this through the top of the brows, just to add a little coolness. Do you see a difference? I see a difference personally on this brow versus this one. So it's sometimes just those little nuances, those little things that you have to tweak when you're using a really colorful palette or a colorful lipstick or even blush sometimes. So let's just add a little. This brow obviously gets covered up by my hair, so it's not as visible. But I just felt like as I was fixing my hair, especially in the light in my bathroom, I'm like, something is just not quite right. Not really jiving. And I feel like I need a little more blush. So let's go back with our brush here, this blush brush. And I'm gonna add, what should we add? Let's add a little bit, let's add a little bit of the pink tone. No, we better go peach. I feel like when I've been sick, my brain, my decision-making power, it takes a little longer. You know, my brain is just not quite up to par. Yep, that's what we needed. Now we look like we're a little more awake. A little more with it, at least I think so. All right, here is our finished look. And I love it. To me, this is that kind of first step into spring looks. I should remove my mirror here that I have sitting in front of me. There we go. Okay, so here's the finished look. And I love it. I think overall, most of the products, most everything that I used today, I loved. I love the Dibs sticks, really enjoying those. I would recommend, you know, wait for a sale, get those on sale. The Bounce and Blur foundation, it's one of those that when you wash it off your skin just feels like it has been treated all day. So really enjoying that. Love the eyeshadow palette. Again, if you're not into these colors, it won't be a palette for you. If you are looking for a really good kind of neutral, but with a little twist kind of eyeshadow palette, I'll link my videos down below. I have done 3 looks with this palette, 3 mini tutorials. I'll link that video if you missed it. And the lip colors, I really do like the Merit Lip Liner. I feel like this might be one I look for maybe in another color during the Sephora sale. And the Revlon Lip Shines, these are really hydrating. They're not the longest wearing for sure, but they are just a really nice amount of color and shine. To me, they compare to these Hourglass Phantom glosses. These are pretty shiny, but I feel like these are as well. So if you want a more affordable option, these are definitely something to check out. And then of course, I got to give a shout out, huge shout out to Melissa. These are amazing brushes and I can't wait to use the rest of them. This beautiful fluffy brush and this wonderful kind of powder brush for under the eyes. I think she did a great job. I will leave a link to her shop down below and her Instagram page as well if you don't follow her. She's fantastic. So everything else, I will keep you posted on just the different things I'm testing, the under eye SPF, the overall SPF, my sunless tanner video, that will be coming. Still have about at least, I think I've got 4 more products currently that I need to test before that will be ready. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for your patience through barking and my tickly throat and my overall nasally sound. Hopefully my next video, I will be back to 100%. I hope you all are staying well and enjoying some first few days of spring wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.